Alrighty, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name's Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. I got a little bit of a viewer question / comment here. A little bit of an overlap between this. So this is going to be kind of fall under both high conflict divorce and custody, but also healing the masculine. It's worth addressing. I'll just read the comment, okay? Would love to see a video addressing masculine men in custody battles. I feel like the courts look down on manly men, and I feel like this is a huge can of worms. And I wanted to do a separate video on this because I wanted to address manly men. What does that even mean? What does it even look like? I make the argument all the time, man, that we don't actually have a good grasp or good handle on what that actually is or what that actually means. I don't even think that we're close. I think we have some really very differing, probably a lot of us have a lot of differing views or perspectives or opinions on what manly men actually look like. And what I generally find, right, is that most guys these days, they have an inkling towards being passive nice guys. And I say this, I promise, I swear to you, I mean this in the nicest way I can possibly mean it. Nice guys are spineless wimps. And again, I'm not saying that to be degrading or deprecating in any way. They just are. In many regards, I mean, these nice guys, and when they're married, I call them yes dears. Go dip your head in paint. Yes, dear. What color? But nice guys, they're so passive, and they're doormats, and you can just walk all over them, right? And so nice guys, when it comes to family court, man, they are fish in a barrel. And sadly, what I've kind of seen is that it's tough because you got to kind of have to find a balance. What I've seen for men in family court is if they're really passive, the court will can absolutely eviscerate them. And it's almost like, I don't know, personally, I think family attorneys are just really screwed up people who have often maybe a personality disorder on their own. And when they see someone who will just absorb their heinous, evil behaviors, they see an opportunity to just hit him with both barrels, man, and just absolutely just torch them. And so I've seen a lot of these nice guys, so to speak, get absolutely torched in family court. Just absolutely torched. Because family court is, as we all know, biased towards women, biased towards moms. Generally speaking, they just give favor to moms. They tend to look the other way when moms do horrible and heinous things. And so if there's a passive nice guy who's just going to give the court the benefit of the doubt and just allow them to take it, he's just absolutely going to get destroyed in family court. Family court's not fair. There's no justice. They don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. And I'm not quiet about this. I'm upfront about it. Those of you that have watched my other videos, I detest family court. I think it is the absolute pinnacle of human stupidity, hands down. At least that I've encountered. But so that warrants a question, right? So should a nice guy go into it and be more manly? Well, what does that mean? So I've noticed that a lot of guys, they think, well, being a passive nice guy didn't work, so I got to be aggressive. I got to be like, I got to be an alpha male. And I hear this stuff from the manosphere. Be an alpha male. There's a certain percentage of these guys that have it in their minds with this alpha male stuff. I think it's nonsense. I think it's crazy nonsense. I think those guys are lost. I think in their minds that they've got it figured out and that you have to be an alpha male, but alpha males also really they also miss the mark, if you ask me, big time. So I think that when it comes to being a manly man in court, guys think like, I need to go in there and be like, I need to crack the whip. I need to be aggressive and angsty or whatever, right? And I think that's probably what this person is commenting on, is that The courts look down on manly men. I think the courts look down on men who attempt to assert their control, or assert some sort of control, or at least direct control. What does work in family court, mind you, is narcissistic manipulation, of gaslighting, of like torching people for making mistakes or having lapses in judgment. He lost his temper in front of the children. He should lose his parental rights. Give me a break. Everybody loses their temper. Everybody gets angry at the kids and in front of the kids. But of course the court goes along with this, because the court also adopts this idea that you're not allowed to make mistakes, and parenting is, well, it's easy for me to go off the handle with family court. I'm trying to fence it in, y'all, in case you didn't notice. But as someone who's been a custody evaluator, and someone who's done expert witness stuff and evaluations for the court, yeah, the lawyers do this. Like, it looks like we found that you made a mistake. We better eviscerate you. And my response is always like, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. I do make mistakes. I always have, and I certainly always will. If you want people who are not going to make mistakes, good luck. Good freaking luck with that. But kind of getting back on track to my point, this idea that I'm going to go to court and I'm going to be a manly man, and so I'm going to try to assert my dominance. I'm going to assert my control. That certainly doesn't work. They're going to see you as they're just going to react poorly to that. The ones that succeed are the ones who are manipulative, like narcissistically manipulative. Narcissism comes with a very set of tactics, approaches and tactics, right? And it's weird. It's so weird how they all develop this same set of tactics, by the way. But they work in family court. They work exceptionally well in family court. And why do they work exceptionally well in family court? Well, as we all know, they're stupid. That's why. It's because they, like, you would think family court. Okay, here goes. My soapbox is out for a sec. You would think in family court, these knuckleheads would know even a small iota of human psychology or family science. In fact, the opposite is entirely true. They are profoundly stupid in this manner. They're not required. They're not required to be proficient in family science. They're not required to be proficient in any way in human behavior. In fact, the opposite. If they require anything, it would probably just say require them to be stupid. Okay, slide that thing back under the bed. Moving on. So to me, a true manly, masculine man, and this is where the overlap is going to happen with healing the masculine, is that a true manly man is actually going to probably do pretty okay in family court. And I tend to rest on that real, actual manly or masculine men are a lot more stoic. That stoicism is a lot more of an efficient and effective approach to things. Stoicism is a type of assertiveness. And if you're not familiar with Stoicism, I recommend it. I think it's good stuff. Is it perfect? No, not by a long shot. But it comes with some great points of assertiveness and philosophy. And I'm planning on doing a video about this in terms of how to approach family court. Those of you who I call the apologetic parent, you talk too much. You have to know when to be quiet and when to speak. Choose your battles, right? And so to me, a real manly man or a masculine man is neither a passive pushover that can be walked on and pushed around, and he's neither that loud, in your face, I'm going to try to assert my dominance on the courtroom type of man. He's found a happy medium. He's somewhere in the middle. And frankly, kind of describing that, that's a whole other can of worms. That's maybe a whole other video. Potentially. I don't intend on making that one, but I don't know, maybe I would if it was in high demand. But developing that type of masculinity, it's work. You have to do it, and you have to grow up. Frankly, I find that most men these days, they're boys in adult male bodies. They haven't actually grown up. And you have to keep in mind that if you're like, I'm not going to be a pushover and I'm going to go to court and assert my dominance. Part of being masculine to me, you have to know what you're dealing with. You have to know what you're working with. If you know that you can easily win the fight and or the war, you have to be very discriminating about your battles. And so to me, it's important to just sort of hang back and choose your battles very, very wisely. But when you do, fight like hell. Like go after it, right? And but you have to choose them very, very wisely. So no, I don't recommend for men and dads to be a passive, nice guy, pushover doormat. And no, I also don't recommend that guys go in at just kind of being loud and demanding either. I mean, narcissists are very successful in family court because they know when to be charming. And they know when to gaslight, and they know when to manipulate. They know when to lie, and they can tell when they're dealing with someone who's just going to buy into these tactics. Okay, and yes, family court is easily manipulated by narcissistic types. Easy. I mean, it's just, God, for them, it's it's like taking candy from a baby. It's like. It's just how overtly dumb they are in family court. And the problem in family court is the egos. The clowns, the judges, commissioners, and the lawyers, these are very egotistical types. You have to know that you're dealing with these egos. So if you go in there and trying to assert a dominance, they're going to be like, oh, hell no, we're more powerful than you are, and we're going to prove it. And absolutely hit you with the big stick, just to prove, like, yes, the court, the people in the court, the clowns in the court, sorry, you know what I meant, will absolutely be happy to do whatever harms your family as long as they win, as long as they feel like their ego has dominated your ego. So in a way, you have to, like, unfortunately, this is the game you have to play if you're in family court. In a sense, you have to realize that you have these egos and you have to let them have it. And you have to let them be egotistical. Because if you go to those battles, you're just going to lose. And that's happened to me. I've decided in the past, like, I've gone into it like, I'm going to fight this fight, man. I'm going to tell them what's up. I'm going to tell them that they're wrong. I'm going to tell them that there's harm being done to children. They didn't care. They threw me under the bus. And frankly, I don't have any regrets. I stayed true to myself. I kept my professional integrity intact because I refused to compromise my professional integrity like all of them do. We're going to end it there. Thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well out there, guys. Don't hesitate to send me your questions. If you want to leave them in a comment section under a video, I can't guarantee that I'll see it, but you can email me, scottc@saltcitycounseling.com. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Thanks for putting up with my rants and my soapbox. I think it's time to just stop pulling punches and speak our truth. Have a nice day. We'll see you next time.